The shadow that walked with the plague. When the century plunged into the darkness of the Black Death, the streets of European cities became silent corridors of horror. Life itself seemed to retreat before an invisible force that advanced with the speed of fear. In narrow alleys, creaking carts carried bodies, stained sheets hung from windows, and the distant sound of bells marked the rhythm of mourning. It was as if the world had stopped breathing.
The devastation spread so quickly that entire villages vanished before they could even be remembered. Terror took shape in every corner, behind every closed door and in every hesitant step taken by those still clinging to life. And in this landscape of despair, a peculiar figure began to appear, walking among the living and the dying like a harbinger of something unknown. Its presence was marked first by the mask, a rigid, uncanny face with glass eyes and a long, curved beak. At first glance, it resembled a dark bird made human. Yet the terrifying beak had a different purpose. It was packed with aromatic herbs, dried flowers, and spices, based on the belief that these scents could filter the contaminated air that, according to the era's theories, carried the disease. The mask, crafted from varnished leather and paired with a heavy cloak that covered the entire body, formed a crude suit of armor for those who dared to approach the invisible enemy. In its hands, the figure carried unusual instruments, a long staff used to keep distance, to move the sick, to examine wounds, or even to turn bodies. On makeshift tables, jars of ointments, poultices, blades for bloodletting, and cauterizing irons lay scattered. These tools were born of a time when superstition and trial intertwined with medicine. Each object stood as a testament to humanity's desperate struggle against a plague it did not understand, but refused to surrender to.
Yet beneath the dreadful attire were not monsters, but human beings exhausted by the reality around them. Many were not trained physicians, but ordinary people who accepted the task because few had the courage or the choice to do so. They bore on their faces the fatigue of endless days, the weight of responsibility, and the constant awareness that they could be the next to fall. They risked their lives while being feared, avoided, and sometimes rejected by the very population they tried to help. Even so, they continued. They were, paradoxically, the most terrifying figures and at the same time the last glimmer of hope. Centuries later, the image of these plague doctors remains as an echo that travels through time, a silent reminder of when humanity walked blindly in the presence of death. Today, science, medicine, and knowledge illuminate paths once shrouded in superstition. Yet the memory of the plague and the figures who faced it persists as a warning and a reflection. For as long as disease, fear, and uncertainty exist, the shadow of that era will never fully vanish. It continues to watch us through history, reminding us that even in the deepest darkness, humanity has always tried to resist, always tried to understand, always tried to survive.